We're welcoming back Ross Benjamin, college basketball analyst, and Ross and I do a series every day, Underdog Value, and Ross picks out the underdogs that he really feels are going to cash the ticket. And I got a feeling Ross Benjamin's getting ready to get red hot. Last night he went 1-1, no damage done, but I just got a feel for the way he's picking. Things are getting ready to get turned up. So Ross, first and foremost, welcome back. You've got two ball games you want to look at tonight. We'll break down the first one. That's Pitt Panthers going to Louisville. And myself, I'm surprised at how many points that Pittsburgh's getting on this line. It's plus 7.5. I just don't know if Louisville is 7.5 points better than Pitt and Coach Jamie Dixon. And the second game, UAB's getting 4 at Old Dominion. So we'll break them down one at a time. And what is your thoughts on this first game with Pitt plus the points?
Well, I really like this Pitt team, Mike. I just think that they're a possible Sweet 16 to as good as a Final Four team at the year's end, in my opinion. I mean, you're looking at the fact they're coming in on a 9-game win streak, so they have a lot of momentum as an underdog. 3-0 straight up in ATS in their first 3 games in ACC play, coming off an impressive win at Notre Dame, which isn't an easy place to win at. 86-82 is a 4.5-point underdog. Solid team across the board. 1.8 to 1 assist to turnover differential, which is huge when you play against a pressure defensive team like Louisville. Plus 11 rebound per game differential. Also a huge factor when you consider you're playing against one of the best rebounding teams in the country in Louisville. And at the free throw line, you can't never underestimate this. 79.3% at the free throw line for the season, number 1 in the country. And lastly, you're looking at they're playing with double revenge. Louisville knocked them off both meetings last season during the regular season and beat them decisively by double digits on each occasion. And this is a Louisville team just 2-2 in their last 4, losing to an overrated, in my opinion, Kentucky team. And then in their previous game went to Clemson and were knocked off as a 6.5-point favorite. I'm going to take the points here, Mike. I like Pittsburgh plus the 7.5 over Louisville.
Yeah, I like that as well. And, Clemson, you mentioned them. That's not an easy place to play, apparently. Duke went down last night. But, yeah, Louisville, I noticed this year, and I read some articles on it, Pitino's focusing more on defense, and that works well for them. Now, their 3 losses, though, Ross, have come from with a total of 10 points, all right? All 3 losses combined. So they're in every single game. I also agree. I think 7.5 is just too much to give. They're 1-0 on the road, Pitt is. They're a very, very well-coached team. Michael Young, Jamal Artis, they bring it night in and night out. So that backcourt's a little bit dangerous. And again, I just think the defense of Pitt is too tough. And as you pointed to, they went to Notre Dame and won, so they know what it's like to win in a hostile environment on the road. So I'm with you. 7.5, I think that's a gift to us. So let's jump all over that. Now, UAB's getting 4 at Old Dominion, and UAB's 13-3 on the year, playing pretty good basketball. And last year, UAB handed to them. I mean, they put a licking on them. What's your breakdown and reasoning for liking UAB with the points over Old Dominion?
Well, first and foremost, let me remind the viewers here, Mike, this is an experienced UAB team that returns all 5 starters from a team that went to the round of 32 last year in the NCAA tournament. They knocked off number 3 seed Iowa State in a huge upset, and then were eliminated by a UCLA team that went to the round of 16. Anyway, they got off to a 3-3 start this season. They've reeled off 10 wins in a row. They're a very talented offensive team that averages nearly 80 points a game, shoots 49% from the field. Their defense in recent games has been outstanding, holding opponents to 36% shooting in their last 5 contests. And Old Dominion coming off an upset loss against Southern Miss, in which they were a 12.5-point favorite against a depleted Southern Miss basketball program. I like UAB in this spot. I just think that they're undervalued here. This game, to me, should be more like a pick 'em. I'm going to take the 4 points with UAB over Old Dominion.
You know, Russ, and with all that being said, I want to ask you your opinion on this because sometimes this puzzles me. And it's amazing how sometimes the linesmen, the lines movers, they just know what's going to happen, you know, like the Alabama in the national championship. But here you got a UAB club, and I also knew that they had returning 5 starters. Matter of fact, I went on them twice pretty heavy in the first 6 games, and it hurt me. But now they're on that 10-game run. Obviously, they're gelling. This team has cohesiveness. All right, Old Dominion, who they spanked last year, literally, all right, is ranked 157th in the country in field goal percentage. All right, UAB is ranked 27, okay? How do you figure, and why is it that UAB is getting 4 points? What do they know that we don't know? Or maybe what's your insight on that real quick as we wrap up?
I just think the main thing is Old Dominion has a strong home court, not only last year, but this year they're 8-0 at home, and they've been winning by decisive margins at home. So I think that goes into a lot of it. But having said that, I do agree with you, Mike. It's a little puzzling considering the fact if this game was played at UAB, UAB would be anywhere from a 2 to 3 point favorite, which I think would be a short number.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's a little bit mind-boggling, but I think a lot of it has to do with a strong home court for Old Dominion.
Okay, well, that makes sense then. And again, I think UAB's experience, you know, will play well into that. So, all right, viewers, you heard it. Ross Benjamin, who I really feel is getting ready to heat up. He likes the Pitt Panthers getting 7.5 at Louisville tonight. And also, he likes UAB +4 at Old Dominion. So there's your underdog value tickets to be cashed tonight in college basketball. Ross, thanks so much for being with us. We look forward to having you back again with us real soon.